reports of break-ins, thefts, and threats. People living in the Rio Vista neighborhood in San Marcos say they're seeing a big spike in crime around their homes and nothing's being done. But local law enforcement disagrees. KVUE's Kelsey Sanchez first brought you residents' concerns 2 weeks ago, and now she sits down with San Marcos police to find out how they're responding to residents' fears.
People who live in the Rio Vista neighborhood say there's an uptick in crime and unhoused people threatening their homes in recent months. It's gotten to a point where they say they call police officers constantly, but don't see any results. But San Marcos police say that's not the case.
Just because they may not see officers doesn't mean that they didn't go there or there wasn't follow-up done.
Tiffany Williams is a commander with SMPD and says officers have been out to the area. In the end, it depends on the call, what the person reports, and what actions can be taken under the law.
If it doesn't fall within law enforcement's purview, if it's not a criminal offense, then what they want and what we can do are not going to be commiserate.
Williams agrees there has been a rise in people who are unhoused in the area. However, it isn't limited to only this neighborhood. How they handle it is by first talking to them.
We actually have we call it our HOT team. It's our homeless outreach team. They go out and their first goal is to make contact and educate, because lots of times folks don't know. So one, we want to get voluntary compliance.
Whether or not crime and homelessness in the neighborhood go hand in hand is up to residents, according to Williams.
I think it comes down to, again, it's the perception. There, if you're living there and that's your reality, your perception is these things are all connected. Absolutely.
KVUE reached out to the city and police department for crime data within the last few years. Since January, the department's opened 51 cases in Rio Vista. In that same time frame last year, they'd opened 111. So compared to the last 3 years, officers say the 2023 numbers are not out of the ordinary.
I think right now it's very hot and it's trending there, and so they're talking about it more than they ever have been.
Advocates say they've seen an uptick in unhoused people coming to San Marcos. In a statement Friday, Hannah Durrance with the local nonprofit The Home Center told KVUE many of those people are coming in from Austin, and right now that group doesn't have the resources to meet the demand. As for San Marcos police, they say to residents in Rio Vista, if something needs to be reported, they will do their best to address it.
There's an abundance of care, but because we can't do exactly what you want also does not translate into we don't care.
In San Marcos, I'm Kelsey Sanchez.
Thank you, Kelsey. Now, according to data from annual point-in-time counts, the number of people living on the streets of Hays County as a whole has risen by more than 75% since 2020. But advocates have cast doubts about those counts in the past, saying they vastly undercount people who need help because they only happen on one night a year and they only count people who are sleeping outside.